Hello and welcome to today's video on Agile Project Management with Scrum. In this video, we'll be focusing specifically on Scrum, one of the most popular Agile frameworks used today. We'll start by giving you an overview of the Scrum process and its key components. First, we define the Scrum team with Product Owner, Scrum Master, and developers. The product backlog with user stories, their story points and their status. And an empty sprint backlog. And set the sprint duration to 2 weeks. Then we call the start sprint function. The start sprint function is responsible for starting the sprint and running it for the duration of sprint duration. It does this by running 3 functions in order. Plan sprint, do daily Scrum, and review sprint. It runs each of these functions for sprint duration iterations, which means that each function will be run once per day of the sprint. Next up is the plan sprint function. The plan sprint function is responsible for planning the sprint. It does this by going through the product backlog and looking for user stories that are in the to-do status. When it finds one, it adds it to the sprint backlog, assigns it to a developer, and moves it to the in progress status. It also removes the user story from the product backlog. This function only runs once per sprint, during the sprint planning meeting. Next, we have the do daily Scrum function. The do daily Scrum function is responsible for running the daily Scrum meeting. It goes through each user story in the sprint backlog and updates its status to in progress. It also checks for any impediments that might be blocking the completion of the user story and raises them with the Scrum Master if a user story is complete. It moves it back to the product backlog and removes it from the sprint backlog. Finally, we have the review sprint function. The review sprint function is responsible for running the sprint review meeting. It goes through each user story in the sprint backlog and counts how many have been completed. It then calculates the sprint velocity, which is the number of completed user stories divided by the duration of the sprint. Finally, it updates the sprint velocity with the Scrum Master. And that concludes our video on Agile Project Management with Scrum. We hope you found it informative and that you learned something new today. As you can see, implementing Scrum in your project management process can help you and your team stay on track, increase efficiency, and deliver high-quality results. Remember, Scrum is all about flexibility, continuous improvement, and collaboration, so make sure to keep these principles in mind as you implement it in your own projects. If you have any questions or comments, feel free to leave them down below. And as always, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our channel for more videos on software development, project management, and everything in between. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.